To start, everybody else good?
Sure.
Alright.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Mapmaking Spotlight Show. I'm here with my co-host Skyhawk and our special guests for the week, Ukkiez and Zyke, to talk about their competition maps.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Very good.
Quick other note. We're still separating these, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because all the other videos on YouTube are
Yeah, they're
totally
done
separate.
person by person. Yeah. So, we'll start
But
by
I can
talking
merge
with
them
Ukkiez.
together.
So hey, Ukkiez,
Hello.
you made a map for the competition.
I did a very, very, very interesting map.
It is a cool map.
Pretty map.
Tell us about the kind of thought process for coming up with this map. How did the idea enter your brain?
Yeah, I started pretty early after the competition was announced, and I didn't really have a theme in mind or anything really, so I just kind of started making something.
Cool.
Kind of ramen style.
Yeah.
And then along the way, it kind of just became this. I know that the thing I had in mind at least was that usually I make reasonably difficult maps, and you know, I think that's kind of the thing you usually want to do. You're like, oh, I want to make some cool sections, you know, I want to do some cool tech, you know, very exciting. But this time I was kind of more like, let me try to make a map that's, you know, kind of for all skill levels.
Right, a little
It's
more
kind of
accessible.
just chill. Yeah, a bit more accessible. And I think that did happen. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
pretty
think
easy.
so.
You can barely die. For what?
Yeah, there's a few spots at the end, but for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask, when you say like ramen style, like how do you typically kind of build up your maps like that? Do you kind of start with the gameplay, or do you have an aesthetic that you build, or?
Oh no, it's never aesthetics, and it was more also in this case that, you know, because the competition was happening, I was like, well, I want to make a map because, you know, why not? It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to see, you know, how your skills match up with the other map makers if everyone actually puts in some effort.
Yeah.
But it was also kind of, it felt like practice for visuals, because
Okay.
I almost never do visuals at all.
Yeah,
And if I
think,
do, it's just a
your
virtual
maps
map
are,
with
yeah,
some,
more virtual.
yeah, with some squares in the background, so that you call it a day. But yeah, it was more that actually, where, you know, I kind of want to see if I could make a map look half decent,
Cool. And I think
while at
it
the same
succeeded.
time kind of playable. Yeah, I'm happy that I got some positive feedback from that. I think it came out alright. It's by no means, you know, extraordinary, but
Do you think there's
it's
anything
not
that you
bad
would
to
change now, like that you've gotten a lot of feedback?
well, I think the thing that Zaandaa pointed out, I think he was the only judge to point it out, but it was nonetheless, I think it made sense where, you know, the it's not the parallax layers, but the you know, layers 16 to 12 or 17 to 12, I should say. They kind of blend in with the foreground a little bit. They don't contrast very well, so I can definitely imagine that it's kind of hard to see where the actual geometry is that you can stand on.
Right, I can see that.
Probably
bit, I
change that.
suppose.
Yeah, that was my only real issue with aesthetics.
Yeah.
I just try
but-
to point out things like contrast and foreground, background.
Yeah, and that makes sense. But I think there was more. I mean, if there's one thing I would change, definitely it's the fog trigger. I could just not find any colors that looked half decent, so I just stayed with this. I'm pretty sure this is like
Did
the
you borrow
fields.
this? Yeah, okay.
I think it might be the fields fog trigger that, you know, adjust the blue a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that might be it. It's been a while though.
It looks
Yeah,
like there's
the main judge reception was just, it's really positive all around, but it didn't stand out as like the best in anything in particular. It was just like the amazing all-arounder kind of thing.
Yeah, and that was kind of in line with what I was trying to do at least. I had a lot of different weird ideas, mostly including weird scripts for the competition, but I was also like, I kind of just want to make a map that's very chill, that, you know, you just don't really have to think much about, don't really have to, you know, you don't need high APM to do it, just kind of open it up, kind of chill, look at the nice backgrounds, you know. Originally I was writing music for it, but I didn't finish it eventually, unfortunately. But,
Nah, that's too bad.
but yeah, that was kind of the main idea, just have a really chill level, hence also the name Peace of Mind.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more like vanilla style maps in the competition, and personally that's something that I enjoy.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too crazy. Also, that's assuming that I can go crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what were some of the like crazy script ideas that you had that ended up just not being done?
For one, I wanted to mess with the physics. For one, I wanted to change the physics so that left friction was the same as right friction.
Yeah.
I kind of messed with that. Kind of solve some quote-unquote issues with the game.
Yeah.
And see how that works out in gameplay. And the other idea was, I think I showed it on stream, but that was like a year ago or something, where I call it like a tag team thing. So I modified C's entity outliner so that the outline is actually a sprite of the other character, of another
interesting.
character. And then you just press taunt to switch over to that other character.
Cool.
So kind of a tag team type of deal.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to do stuff with that, you know, make character specific sections, because I really feel like a lot of people just kind of ignore other characters. I'm like, you know, it's kind of boring to play Dustforce or Dustforce, but it can be super fun.
And that's what I play. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it would be nice, I think, if you could kind of force it on people, but still make it fun. I think that's a nice idea. But yeah, other than that, I think that were kind of the main ideas I had.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'd be cool maps in their own right.
Where did the idea from the visuals come? I know when making ramens, a lot of the times you kind of put some things together, don't really think about the visuals while you're doing it, while making the gameplay. Where did you come to this kind of Lost Forest idea?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it kind of had to tie in with the main idea of, it's kind of chill and etc. So kind of wanted like a sort of idyllic place, you know, somewhere with a nice background to look at. And mostly the idea was, you know, I want some bright visuals, not like, you know, dark and edgy, but, you know, just not too much. It's serene, you know. At the background, I literally just Google image, like, I think it was like sea horizon with an island or something. I don't know. Something like that.
I think it's cool when like map makers use reference like that.
Yeah, I was the only playtester I had was Dello, and I was mostly asking him about how he approached visuals, because, well, I sucked at it. And I was like, yeah,
for making good visuals.
Yeah, exactly, and as he said before in his spotlight, you know, he uses photos as references, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try that.
Yeah. I think I really like what you've done with the light props in this map.
Yeah, they surprisingly worked out pretty decently. I feel like I kind of went overboard in the end, but
yeah, I think it works.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, but the consistency of the light angles was questionable.
True. Yeah, there's somewhere it's like centered, and then it's over here. But I mean, it's hard to, when it's like static props. It's
I approached it section by section. I wasn't like zooming out to look at every section in relation to each other. We're like, yeah, so that means the ray has to go in this direction. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just more like poking fun at it. Nothing too serious. Not quite worth a -1.
Definitely on my thoughts,
Yeah, I really like how it sort of simulates the sort of darker interior, like with the light rays coming in, and then when you have these brighter open sections, it's just like more natural light. Like it feels a lot more real because of the lighting.
Yeah, I was trying to make it as intuitive as possible, right? Where like, okay, this makes sense.
Right.
And I think that kind of worked out. I'm sure that theoretically it makes absolutely zero sense, but
yeah, it feels like it makes sense, and that's what's important.
yeah, exactly.
Makes sense if you don't think about it much.
Yeah. I guess next detail with the visuals is the particles.
Yes, the wind generator.
The wind triggers.
Yeah, the wind, the whole like trail of particles going through the level.
Yeah, that was. I thought it was a reasonable or a nice detail.
I think it works really well. Both as just like it's a cool effect, but it also helps guide the player, I think, a bit.
Yeah, exactly. That was the main idea. You know, have them go in the direction that you're supposed to go, and also kind of course, give the idea that there's actually some kind of draft in these.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess tunnels. They're not really tunnels, but sort of tunnels.
Yeah, I guess they're tunnels. And then
that was nice.
The other dust mod thing, I think, is these scaled enemies. How'd you come to that decision?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny how it's, like the physics are different on this guy. He's just faster.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was the totem was the main reason why I did it. I was testing it, and it was just one totem, and it barely did anything. So I was like, okay, how can I fix that? Well, I guess I can put it closer to the player, but I kind of just want it to be there.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, well, maybe I'll just make it bigger.
Just make it bigger.
You know.
There you go. Now it's a bigger problem.
I mean, that was pretty much all there was to it. And then for the end, I was like, well, if the totem is bigger, then it kind of makes sense that the bear is bigger. So And also, of course, because the end, it's easier to hit a bigger target. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you've got.
So it kind of worked out easier with the heavies you had to do.
Yeah.
Because the intentional strat is to like dash heavy and then jump heavy.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to use this super.
I think you used super in the section before.
Yeah.
Could do that. Yeah, it was either that or used on the bear. I didn't really. Yeah. I didn't have any preference for that when I was making the map. I was like, yeah, you could do both.
Right. Yeah, and I think both do work.
Yeah, I have no idea which one is faster.
Which is nice, I think, having that kind of different options for the route.
Yeah. As far as the route is concerned, there aren't that many options. I definitely had like casual and fast strats in mind for each section, but they're not too different. But at least
That's actually
something.
interesting to hear, though, that you kind of like planned out two different strats.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I always like to. I mean, it's hard always to approach a map from different angles than your own angle.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But,
so do you come up with the fast one and then just modify it to make sure that there's some easy way to get through it, or how do you do that?
Well, I used to do that, but now I've changed it to the other way around, where I'll think of a casual way, and then I'll afterwards think like, okay, how would you do this fast?
Okay.
Is it interesting?
Cool.
I
think that might lend itself to this kind of vanilla vibe that I'm getting from this map.
Oh yeah, I guess that could be, yeah. No, but yeah, it used to be the exact way that you said, like, I'll just make sections that I thought were cool, and then I'll go really fast and be like, okay, cool.
Right.
And then, most people would play it and be like, okay, this is unplayable, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm dying 10 times in this checkpoint, I'm gonna quit. I kind of wanted it to be the opposite this time, and I think... Yeah, I don't know, I think it worked out reasonably. I think the map is kind of boring.
You think so?
But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's nice to go fast, but there's not much to it. I don't know. I'm not even sure how it would change it gameplay-wise.
Yeah, it's hard to say
what it is.
Yeah, because once you get far enough into a project, it just kind of solidifies itself. It's like this is
Yeah,
just what this
exactly.
map is now.
Yeah, and I mean all these sections are really closed off. Maybe that's the reason why. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find my let's say my approach for that type of thing. I haven't really come up with anything yet.
I have noticed
But yeah,
that a lot of competition maps, this year and last year, people tend to add in terms of length, and we kind of allowed for nexuses to be a substitution for people feeling like they felt like they had to add more content. That might be something like, or that might be along the same lines as what you're talking about, because this isn't a particularly long map, which, you know, I think is a plus for what it is. Like, it doesn't have to be longer than it is.
Yeah, it's already a decently long map. Like it's over 30 seconds.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when you spend so much time on the same map and over, some people do tend to get bored of that kind of thing, even if they're creating it themselves.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
maybe
definitely.
you're just kind of sick of your own creation, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't like maps that are arbitrarily difficult, as in, you know, the sections are easy, but the map is long, so it's hard. I really don't like that. So I didn't want to do that. I mean, if a map is already difficult and then you make it long, then I'm like, okay, fine. You know, it's not going to change it much, but in this case, yeah.
Who's Rusty's going this way? What's going on here?
Oh, did you find? Is it about a totem?
This is the any percent route. I'm just watching it.
Oh, the 80%, yeah.
Did you think
There's a
about
couple
yeah,
of different ways you can go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kinda makes
I
me-
added some clips as well.
Kinda makes me think it
haven't
wasn't
tested
grinded.
it,
yeah. Yeah, this is maybe not optimized.
but- What?
You sure?
Terrible.
Feel the record, Skyhawk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to after seeing that.
Do it live.
Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Here, this record is free.
Someone might get it before you.
Oh yeah,
That's
probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Out that heavy
That's
hit.
No. Yeah, did you think much about the 80% route?
I added some clips.
Oh yeah.
And I added the slope at the start, the blind slope, because I thought that would be fun.
Yeah, there's some clear options, but
Yeah.
it feels like you just kind of let people decide what they wanted to do with those options.
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. I didn't want to think too much about it. Not that I don't care about 80%, but more like I think the fun in 80% is often that you do stuff that's unintended. So
Yeah, I would agree. There's kind of a route finding aspect to it.
yeah. There are definitely some awkward sections, I think, but yeah. That's part of 80%.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I guess the only other detail is like the ambience triggers, where I kind of tried to. I don't know. Is there a dust mod feature for that, where for example you have proximity based volume for ambience, or?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I think
Yeah.
you just need different ambience triggers.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, for the waterfalls in the background.
Oh,
It'd
okay.
probably be manageable though. I actually don't know how triggers work with scripting though, so I don't have experience with that.
Yeah,
I
don't know
would
if
assume
get
you
the-
can access it to some degree though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
And if not, it wouldn't be hard to.
Fog
make
triggers
that
are kind of
possible.
like explicitly, they have their own features in scripts, but the other types of triggers, I think you would just have to like use an actual trigger and move it around.
Yeah.
I would imagine you might be able to edit them the same way that I was able to edit cameras in
Yeah.
Dustforce Arcade.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the API yet,
But yeah.
thinking
I
Yeah,
assume it's
basically, yeah. Some entities have some inherent variables that you have to go through a bunch of steps to access, but
Yeah, just jump through a bunch of hoops to get at them.
yeah, and I'm guessing ambience, you could do something similar.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually, it would probably be super trivial to
I don't know about
make a
trivial.
small script for that.
I think it would be actually kind of hard, but
You think so?
a little bit, just because like I don't think it's designed for that. But it would be possible. I
Well,
think.
yeah.
So
Yeah, plus you'd have to do some math to figure out where the center of the trigger is and make sure you
Can
have
you
some
not just get the
scale.
position of the center?
you can get
You
the
could get
position. of it.
the center, you'd
Okay.
have to... I think you'd have to do some math, and it would be kind of difficult on that end, but... I'm sure it wouldn't be too bad.
But I do think
no,
this
it's
map does pretty good with the ambience anyway. Like just having all these
yeah.
different triggers along the path works pretty well.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing. I doubt anyone would have noticed, but
I certainly didn't notice, but I mean it's those kinds of subtle touches that just really brings the map to another level. Just that level.
Yeah,
of
sometimes it's a good amount of polish, but sometimes it's too hard to notice, and that's a negative.
You think?
You know, and you're just, well, a negative in the sense that no one's gonna be able to appreciate it.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, so like you can definitely be too subtle in a bad way.
Sure.
Subtlety isn't necessarily good.
I mean,
but
but
you're not
that's
thinking of the subconscious effects.
that's why we've got these episodes so that we can point out all the things that were too subtle. Is there anything that you
Yeah, all the
think
things that
nobody
could have been
noticed
improved too.
that you want to point
Sorry,
out?
what was you?
Is there anything that you think was like? Yeah.
Let me think. No, not really. Actually, again, there's not really that much to the maps.
Is there any
I
secret
guess
You
one
did
thing
change
that's
it a
the-
bit after it was judged. Do you
Yeah,
wanna say what you
exactly.
changed, other than any secrets? It's
Well,
within the above the
Yeah.
beginning. That used to be a death zone.
yeah. Well, I literally changed it. Well, I only added secrets as a change, nothing else.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really. I mean, sure that there were things to improve, but it was like, you know, it's good enough as is, and I kind of wanted to make some more elaborate secrets. And actually, well, the secret areas are not that elaborate, but you know, there's a nice reference in there, and the apple route is pretty okay. So.
Yeah, I
And
think it's a pretty cool
apparently-
apple route.
Not too difficult, but
So you added this entire upper section to the level. Is there anything else you added?
I added the bottom right, the piano with the little texture.
Ah, yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, I think I saw that there was just
the
one
reference to Clunk
apple
Force.
down here. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Clunk Force.
What's the lore behind having a piano in a humid environment and having it look pristine?
True. That's a
Well,
big plot hole.
the lore is that DJ Ukkiez searches for very special places in the world to do his writing.
It's also
Fair.
very well kept, though. You know, this forest gets cleaned in certain places at least.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very secret down here. I mean, you have to phase through reality to even get there.
Exactly.
People coming for the DJ and you just watch them fall.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't think
Oh.
so. No.
Yeah, what's the intended route up here? Am I supposed to be able to get through this as Dustman?
Yeah. The you refresh your air charge. That's the intended route, and then Jorf. That's also intended.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I was breaking it or if it was intended.
No, I don't know. I guess you could refresh your jump twice without a jump. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
just
anyone
go
can get
Dustforce.
through without the Jorf.
I think you might be able to refresh it on the bottom spikes and possibly make the
Oh
jump.
yeah, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be easy with Kid. It would be hard otherwise. Maybe not
Well, I
so
don't
easy
know.
with Kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
doesn't
pretty
seem to be
tight.
too big.
That kind of movement, regardless.
That's a pretty high jump.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's easy. I've tried to do it plenty of times before
we go.
as a save.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Cool. I Actually, maybe that's a good question. It's how did you do testing, like with different characters or anything, or just test it with one?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I always test with all the characters. Just to make sure, you know, that it's at least, well,
Yeah, at
first
least
of all,
playable.
And of course, in this case, you already know that it's going to be playable, so that's not really because of that. But I also always want to, you know, the map to at least be fun as Dustkid as well.
Dustkid, you know, she gets a bad deal most of the time, so you gotta make sure that she can enjoy at least some of the maps.
Yeah, and definitely is Dustworth as well, of course. But yeah, mostly, usually every character.
Any plans post-competition for Dustforce? I see you've been grinding the leaderboards a lot. Any plans for map making?
In general, no, yeah, for map making, I don't know. I mean, I still have a lot. I mean, not that I can really think of them right now. I have some script ideas. I really want to get better at scripting.
Cool.
Because, you know, well, scripting is cool.
Yeah.
I really actually wanted to make a Nexus, and actually a tag team type of Nexus.
Right.
And otherwise, a type of Nexus where I focus on kind of the different aspects of playing Dustforce and what it means to be, you know, if you want to get good at it, what type of things should you be good at in order to, you know,
Interesting.
climb the leaderboards and that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing that I had in my mind as well.
Sounds like it'd be a cool idea.
Nothing. Yeah, but nothing really more developed than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neat. I think that's everything I wanted to ask. Is there anything else that you wanted to let people know about this map?
No, not really.
Well, thank you very much.
Actually, there's the one thing I do want to say. The 100 euros on the Ramparts Apple SS strat finding, or getting the Ramparts Apple SS, that's definitely a serious thing. For anyone.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a serious thing. If anyone can find something, you know, go for it. I'll PayPal you the money, and you know, you can be happy. So, yeah, real bounty. Go for it.
Alright, awesome. And we'll end with me having stolen the world record for 80%. Not quite for
Very
SS.
nice.
Vergate's too good.
Time for Skyhawk to start grinding a blind seam heavy.
Yeah.
Or just
please
find
not.
a better route. You know?
Exactly. Just find something
the dream.
that's not TAS only.